help someone else unless they know where you're coming from. We can't be these perfect vessels here on social media expecting people to buy into whatever we're selling, right? If it's an ebook, if it's a course, if it's a class, if it's a ministry, what have you, we have to really be honest and transparent with people. And it took me some time to really get to that point of telling my story and being honest. In 2023, I wrote a book called Birthing the Queen Within, right? And so actually, even before that, I was a co-author of a book called Turbulence. And that's actually where I wrote my story of my childhood traumas, of the pain, the hurt, and all the things. And once I started writing my story, it was hard. It was hard, but I realized that my story of overcoming is going to help someone overcome. And so that's why I tell my story in books, but I want to tell my story to you. I realized that a lot of us as adults haven't really healed from the trauma. I'm 50 years old, and I grew up in an age where what goes on in this house stays in this house. And I get it. And that's how we kept secrets. And so many families have so many secrets. But I am fortunate enough to tell my story in order to help others to let go and let God. Let go and be free from the secrets. And so growing up in Baltimore City, you probably hear my accent, right? And I was born in 1975. And back then, heroin, coke, all those type of different narcotics was a big thing. And from the stories I was told, my parents were really heavy into the dealing, shaking and baking of the whole thing. But unfortunately, I saw the side of them being drug addicted parents. Okay. And so when I say parents, let me get the story straight. I lived with my mother and her boyfriend, who I call daddy. To this day, I'm 50 years old, and to this day, I have not seen, heard, or know who my true father is. There's a name on my birth certificate, but back then, baby, mama was a Rolling Stone, okay? So I don't even know if that person is truly my dad. So I never knew my biological father. But I knew my mom's boyfriend as my dad, right? He was my father. He was my protector. He was my rock. Because my mother, baby, she was a lot to handle. And unfortunately, my first memories of my mother and her boyfriend was them doing drugs. Our home was called a shooting gallery, okay? And so everybody came to do their thing, right? They partied, they got high, they shot up, they did other things that I can't say on these social media streets you can imagine, right? And so it was to the point that I saw it all. My first memories of them getting high. My first memories was cooking dope. You know, I don't know if I could say that here, but okay. I could have told you how to do it at the age of probably 4 or 5 because I saw people do it. I saw people OD. I saw how they woke people up from OD and slapping them around. I saw a lot as a child. This is part 1 of my story. I'm going to leave it right here. Y'all leave me some remarks in the comments. Let me know if you had the same type of childhood. This is not a pity party. This is me telling my truth. This is me being open and honest. I am not ashamed of my past. My past is my past, but my future is so bright. And I want to encourage someone by telling my story to let you know that, guess what? You too can heal from your past, the traumas, the hurts, the pains. And I'll be back with more of my story. This is part 1 of Simply Me.